Hello, I am Diana Bellini. I am one of the board members of Junior Achievement of Western Pennsylvania. I am originally from Ecuador. I came to the United States as a child. My family and I settled in New York City. And 13 years ago, I moved to Pittsburgh. So, one of the questions that I would like to share with you is to give you a background of my education. So I am an immigrant. So my parents early on in my life encouraged me to get an education. They told me that education was the only way or one of the ways to be successful and to do well in life. So they really motivated me early on to really pursue my dreams and to be whoever I want to be, as long as I follow, I do my best. So I decided to go to college. I did well in high school, well in middle school, but most importantly, I did well in high school so that I could get financial aid, such as scholarships, because as an immigrant, as I said, I didn't really could afford to go to college. So, but I found this wonderful school in New York City called the King's College. It's a small Christian college located right in Manhattan, in the middle of Wall Street. And I thought that was going to be a great place for me to pursue my education. I always loved numbers. And one day, during my freshman or sophomore year, as I recall, my teacher took me on a tour to the New York Stock Exchange floor. To me, that was the most fascinating moment of my life, because I could see how everybody was trading, how the markets were moving, and I thought that was one of the most fascinating things I could have ever experienced. As a result, from that experience, I decided I wanted to pursue that as a career. I wanted to work in investments and learn more about the markets and how people exchange assets. So I decided to major in business management, with an emphasis in investments, and I decided to pursue a career in at a bank. As time went by, I decided to also advance my career. I enrolled myself in grad school. I started at Duke University to pursue my master's in leadership, because I thought that was also important if I want to continue to move up my career and to impact the people in the business that I will lead. And most recently, I decided to pursue my certification in financial planning. So it's called CFP. So I am working on it at the moment at the New York University. Hopefully, I will be done this year. It's what motivates me. And what motivates me is it has changed over the years a little bit. At first, when I was a young child, a teenager growing up in Queens, New York, it motivated me to be the best I could be for my family. As an immigrant family, I wanted to make my parents proud. I want them to feel proud of the work I do, since they sacrifice so much for me to be here. And so I decided to be the best I could do. So that was my number one motivation. The second one was I always wanted to impact my community. I wanted to be a role model for other Latina girls, to make sure that they pursue their dreams, they pursue what they're passionate, and they follow, what they want deep in their hearts. And then lastly, most recently, I have a daughter who is almost 8, and she's my biggest motivation. I want her to follow her dreams, to be the best she can be, but most importantly, to be an impactful human being and help her community. And that's why I want her to look at me as a role model, to follow my example, to learn from my mistakes and from my successes, and she could hopefully have a wonderful life, as she gets older. The other question I have here is to share with you my best career advice. Well, I have two of them that I receive. The number one is I was told to always do your best. And what I mean by that, what I mean is that you always give 100% of whatever you do, either your school, work, the work at home, work with your parents, the work with your friends, any commitment that you decide to do, such as a volunteering work or some kind of committee that you have joined, some kind of sports clubs that you have joined. This is a great opportunity for you to show who you are and your commitment to it. So my best advice to you is to be present and be 100% your best. It doesn't mean that you won't have bad days, that you will have hurdles, and that you will have some kind of issues throughout your life. We are all humans, we go through all that. But if one day you did your best and your best was a C, don't beat yourself up. That's you give your best. But you gotta see because you were partying the night before or you didn't study, then that's a different thing. But if you give 100% of you, no matter what, that's all that matters. You will always be, feel good about yourself, and your work will show that effort. And the second advice I have for you is that you build your network early. What I mean by that is you start connecting with people, with leaders in the community, with if you have a passion for, let's say, engineering or technology or medicine, banking, try to find people in your community that work in those industries so you can continue to really learn about them and see if it's truly what you really want to do the long term in your career. So start early, utilize your social media skills. I know a lot of people are very good at it. I recommend early on, even if it's high school, start with your LinkedIn account, so that way you can get exposed to different articles, different connections, and really leverage, what is out there in the world, so you can really connect and learn more about outside your circle. The other question I would like to share with you is, how do you define success? So for me, I define success in many ways. So I don't believe success is the same for every person. I believe success is very unique to each individual. For me personally, success is about being happy and being passionate of what I do. I wake up every morning and I'm really excited to go to work. I really enjoy going to my desk and really learning about what's going on in the markets, what are my clients doing, what can I do to help them out. And when I find that I'm doing so, or that I find myself helping my clients, finding solutions, essentially helping the business grow, but at the same time helping my clients, I find joy when I do that. So to me, that's the joy, and that's the success I feel in my career. But I also call success my accomplishments. I sometimes, when I have a bad day or when I don't feel very motivated, I look at myself and I say, how do I look? How did I look 10 years ago? Or how about 5 years ago? If you look at my career, if I look at the things I have accomplished personally and professionally, I have accomplished a lot and I have grown a lot. I have gone through different storms. I have done many different things to help me succeed, such as, learn from my mistakes, and that has been the greatest reward for me. So for me, success, it means happiness either with work, happiness in my family, happiness with myself, most importantly, happiness as a mother, happiness as a friend, as a colleague, as a provider to my clients. So and also I define success as being able to help my community, as I'm involved with Junior Achievement and other organizations, especially with the Latino community. I feel that being successful is being able to share your experiences and being able to help others move with you along the way. So that's the definition of success for me. The other question I have, and the last one, is why did you settle here in Pittsburgh and why? So I settled in Pittsburgh here because my husband was born and raised in Pittsburgh. So that's the reason why I moved here 13 years ago when we got married. And I decided to make this our home despite him being here. And the reason why was because I feel that Pittsburgh has a lot of opportunities, a lot of places where you can work. It's very diverse in industries where opportunities for employment, but also it's very affordable where you can really have a good lifestyle, a good affordable life. As compared to where I came from New York. And also, I think it's a great place to raise a family. Being that I don't live too far from the city, I get to spend a lot of time with my daughter. I get to, I feel like really Pittsburgh is really a family-oriented city where they really want you to really be with your family, and that's what we try to do. Like the minute that I'm not working or in the community, I'm spending time with my family, and that really encourages me to continue to be here and to help my community. So you can really make a difference in the city. You can have a really good career. You can really empower the people around you, and live in this beautiful city that we call home.